Let's talk about another celebrity. And this celebrity, of course,
Hater.
oh, is he a hater now? But
I would call it.
okay. But actor John Leguizamo, you know him now in this new movie coming out, probably in theaters by now, The Menu. But you probably know him from other movies. But you know him from an iconic movie if you are a gamer. That is the Super Mario movie where he played Luigi. And in an interview with IndieWire, as the casting voice for Chris Pratt and Charlie Day as Mario and Luigi, he said it feels backwards. The animated movie caused a stir with Pratt involving after the first teaser was released of his most fan citing no element of the character showing through. Leguizamo critiqued that the casting of the brothers didn't include a person of color. Now let's hang on back. Let's step back for a minute. I agree to Chris Pratt really didn't put a lot of effort into the voice. I'm going to put that out there. So far, based on the trailer, it doesn't sound like that. So I'll leave it at that. Going backwards, that's interesting because he also mentioned that him being Luigi in that movie, he says that it definitely opened the door or set the community of Latino people forward. It was a big step for that race or that culture because they didn't think they were going to cast, a Latino to be in an iconic movie. And iconic, I mean, like over the age, it becomes like it's a bad iconic movie. But regardless, but the feeling backwards. So you're saying hater, but is he right or wrong about he thinks that it should have been more of a diverse color?
I think he's wrong. I think as a fan, we as fans in the community, we can judge what we saw by the little 15 seconds of Chris Pratt's voice because we have, as fans in the Mario Nintendo community, have played all the games, done everything. We can judge it. I feel like John Leguizamo, as a professional actor, he should critique the film on its full, craft. Like, he should wait until it's released, see the movie, and then be like, okay, I've seen all of the film, and with the film in its entirety, now I feel like they dropped the ball on the casting, the acting. I don't think he should be able to judge it from a fan point of view, being a professional. Being a professional, you have to have a higher standard of how you view things. And I think from his standpoint, he would want to see it in its entirety, not from like a delusional fan like you and I watching a 10-second clip and being like, oh my gosh, the world's ending. Mm-hmm. I think he would want to see the whole thing, then judge it. So I'm going to call him a bit of a hater, because he hasn't seen the whole film. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I don't know. But to my knowledge, he hasn't seen it. And so I'm going to say...
Yeah, it doesn't come out till April, so...
Yeah, I'm going to say he's a bit of a hater. And the color thing, okay. Like, let's be honest, John. Like, when you were casted for that role, you was trying to get a check, my brother. Like, it was one of your earlier films. It wasn't like video game movies were, like, extremely popular back then. Mm-hmm. So it was, like, really a risk for everyone. And they were just all trying to get a little bit of that Nintendo money at the time. So it wasn't like anybody was like really trying to pave the way forward for all these things. Sure, did those things happen? Yes. But was it like, this is the reason why we're doing this, is to pave the way? Nah, it was like, I'm on the hustle. I'm on the grind. I got this job. I'm going to go out here. I ain't even Italian. I'm Latino, and I'm over here playing an Italian plumber. But you know what? It's a check. And I'm going to be able to eat tonight, and I got a place to live. Like, come on, John. We know where you from, dude. Like, don't do this. Don't be that guy. I've watched your stuff. I've been a fan for many decades. Like, don't be that guy.
I think it's interesting because, like, I think there's since of recent couple of years, there's been these two different parties of people that, like, we need the race to voice the race that it is. We've seen that party before. Like, if there's a black character, then a black person should do it. If it's an Italian person, for this example, they should do it. Non-humans is a totally different story. But to me personally, I am down, honestly. I guess for me, I'm doing a special project right now that involves voice acting. And I guess for me personally, it's more of, I think anybody can voice any person as long as that person that is not that race is doing a voice that is pushing the stereotypeness into it. So, for example of that is Cleveland. So earlier on, Cleveland was that character, but they never make Cleveland the stereotype black guy where they makes the white guy do the voice. I mean, do the voice of like acting thuggish or anything like that.
Yeah, Cleveland was Cleveland.
Yeah, he was just a normal. He was just a normal kind of like, I don't want to say slow, but he was just a normal kind of person. So anybody could do that voice and it'd be just fine. But if you're saying like a white guy doing like a Riley or a Huey from the Boondocks, it's totally different because you're playing the heavy stereotype of that.
But speaking to that, should girl have been the voice of Riley? Because should it have been a guy's voice? Because Riley, is Riley and Huey are played by what's her name?
Oh, Regina King.
Regina King, that's right.
Yeah, that's interesting too, and that's definitely a different topic for another day because I know that a lot of women definitely do a lot of voices for children because they just have more of that feminine voice for that. And you can count that with Lisa and Bart from The Simpsons too on that. Yep. But we have seen this rise change to Apu being being just basically out of the show due to that situation. Dr. Hibbert, the black doctor, got recast by a black guy. But for me personally, for this Mario movie, to me, I don't care what race they are, as long as the person that is working on the script is not making them try to mimic a race,
black culture,
or any culture, mimicking like that. And Mario himself, I don't think never played on like acting too Italian. Like he's not talking Italian. He's not acting like a typical Italian to me personally.
Mamma Mia is pretty.
No, I know. I get it. That's like a slogan, like But also too, I mean, the famous Mario 60. What's his name? Charlie. You know what I'm talking about? The original, the known famous Mario actor. Yeah. I mean, he's been doing Mario for all these years.
See, I would have liked his voice in it.
I know a lot of people did, and he's in the movie doing something else too. But I guess they you know how Hollywood is. They got to get a big name behind it and whatnot. But regardless, though, I mean, even when it comes to anime, I mean, there's a lot of, when it comes to dub, there's a lot of different races doing voices for characters that are technically Japanese in certain cases, but to me, I don't really care as long as they're not making these actors lean into much of what that stereotype is.
Well, even more recent release, we got God of War, voiced by a black actor, but is Kratos a black character? No, he's not. He's Greek. But he's voiced. The original voice was the guy from Off Limits Singles. Shout out to my boy.
Yep.
and then they got the new black guy that's doing it now, which it's nice that they kept, I guess the voice of Kratos as a black man, but I don't think that's what they were looking for. I think they were just like, we want a more older, mature voice of what the original one was. Because if they would have found somebody of any race, I'm pretty sure they would have done it, but it just so happened that even the new Kratos is still a black male. Yeah.
So the John Leguizamo, I get where he's coming from because I think he's just saying, just in general for Hollywood, we want more diversity in Hollywood. Regardless, I get where he's coming from, but I think voice acting is definitely a totally different world in that kind of situation. And also, too, at the same time, I mean, the only reason why you're in the conversation is because you did play Luigi. But let's be honest here, you're not. I don't hear you representing Mario from the rooftops or anything like that either. So this movie was in 1993. Like, you haven't done anything else that's related to Mario or talked about Mario.
That's what I said. He was out there just trying to get a check, and now he's gonna act like he's been like repping Luigi like voice work for the last 20 years. Like, nah, bro.
I think maybe he's just maybe he's upset that he didn't get the call to voice Luigi.
I think he was just asked a question and he just played into typical like, I'm gonna give the PC response, and it's like, nah, man, just you're a professional, man. Wait till you see the whole movie, and then if you want to be like, it wasn't good, then at that point we could be like, well, at least he saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. All right.